Okay, hello guys, and this is going to be my first recording. So this will be a game development blog or something, and in the way I will be sort of teaching beginners on how to get started on game development, especially using Lua and Love2d framework, which is pretty cool. So let's start. Uh, for this, this is not going to be a tutorial series, okay? So it's not going to be by part, but uh, I'm going to be remaking my other game, the Going Home game. I don't know if you know that, but check it out. It's pretty kind of famous, if I say. So as you can see, since this is my very first uh, let me close that. Since this is my very first, as you can see here, this is my very first Love2d and Lua games. So this is pretty a mess. There's a lot of global variables. There's a lot of, it's not pretty optimized. It's pretty buggy, but I made it work like patchy. But it's not that. I don't recommend this style. So, but whatever. So we're going to remake this, and I'm going to add uh, what what everyone is always asking me about the game, that is the checkpoint or save system. So since now uh, it's been a long time I've been using Love2d, so I'm pretty sure I can remake this and make this better. So okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to go into my game development directory and make a directory there, Going Home Remake, and then I'm going to open an explorer, and then let's see what the libraries I need are Animate, Autobatch, Boy Pushy, Classic. Since this is going to be OOP, I was thinking if I should use entity component system, but I haven't tried that, so let's not do that right now. So inspects, and I think I need love loader again for loading screen. So let's get that. So loom, and then okay. So will I use tiles? I don't know if I'm going to use tiles. So I don't know if I'm going to use bump for collision, but the collision. Oh, okay. So let's worry about that later. So I think that's also. I'll copy that and go back into my Going Home Remake directory and create a directory here called modules. These are going to be the libraries. Okay, so there you go. So I'll open up my Vim, my GVim. Okay, so let's go into that folder, game dev, and then Going Home Remake. Am I there? Yep. Then let's create a main.lua file. So main.lua file is going to be the love to this starting file. So that's pretty important. And then let's save that, and then let's create a vsplit. Let's make another file, configuration.lua file. So in main.lua file, what we need is uh, function.love.load uh, update. So this is going to be called every frame, and draw for everything that we want to render. And then configuration file will be function love.config d. That's it. So let's set here a variable called debug. So since we're debugging, we're still developing the game, so we need that. So if debug, so that is, this is short for if debug is true. Debug is true, then let's set e.console is equals to true, and if so, let's io set std out and set vbuff into no. I think that's vbopper, I'm not sure. So if we're going to print one, we should see a print one in our console right here. So this is working. Okay, so let's save that gh remake. Oh no, I delete session 4. So let's create another. I messed that up. Okay, so g remake. Okay, so first we're going to load the directories, right? So the modules that we need. So first, let's go into our modules and create an initialize that Lua file. So local modules, return modules. Okay, so so when we require a file like this, modules, since modules is a folder, right? It's a folder, it's not a file, Lua file. So if that is a folder, that's going to look for a file called uh, a file called, wait, where's it created? Oh yeah, we haven't saved that, but it's going to, let's save that first. So it's going to find this init or initialize that Lua file, and that is that's going to be loaded. Okay, so since we put here return modules, we need to actually store that into a variable so we can use that. So local, let's see, should I use this, should I use this naming convention or something? It's not a constant, but yeah, whatever, let's just use that. So here we need to store all the local modules. Let's store that here. So we need anim. So what are those? I've kind of forgot. So first, that's that this will be animate. So animate is equals to require modules animate anim. Okay, no, wait, we can use that. They say it's better, so I'm going to follow my masters. Animate. So next we have auto batch. So auto batch is for automatic using sprite batch, so we don't have to make sprite batch ourselves. Auto batch. Okay, so that's it. And then boy pushy is for input, so I don't like name that, so let's just say control, because I mean, come on, it's that's pretty hard to remember always boy pushy, and I might always mess that spelling. Boy, see, I told you, boy pushy. Next we have classic, so this is a very important. No, that I will never mind, let's not put that here. So hump, is a pretty useful library, so we have a lot we can use. So what we need is vector hump, vector is supposed to require modules hump vector, and then what, timer, that's what I need. Modules timer, no, it's hump and timer. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to use game state. But let's not use game state for now. Okay. Hmm. Game state. Yeah. Let's just make our own. And then we have inspect. So inspect is for uh, easier printing of tables, so we don't have to make a for loop every time we want to check the content of a table. So that's useful. So loader. I forgot how to use this love.loader, but anyways, we're not going to use this now since I'm going to make a demo. Love loader, what is that name? Love.loader. Okay, so and the last one we have loom modules loom. Okay, so that's it. So let's see. Here we're going to use the inspect library. So we want to no, it's modules inspect, and then the table will be what will be module. So if we oh wait, there's something wrong with boy pushy. Oh, it's supposed to be input. See, I told you. Yeah, let's name this input as well. What? Also inspect. Oh, it's inspect.lua. Why did Kikito name it like that? I don't know why. Wait, I'm not sure if that's going to work, but yep. So let's just oh no, don't open my browser. I'm pressed the wrong button, so let's remove that. And yeah, there we go. And as you can see, wait, why did it print everything? Oh yeah, it prints everything, even tables inside that. So I don't know if that's useful or what, but anyways, that's okay. Okay, so wait, do I have that offline doc for inspect? No, I don't. So it's okay. Okay, so there we go. Next, what we want after module is we want to set our window, right? So the that window that width, this will be 640 by height will be 480. And I forgot. Okay, so I forgot the the dimension of my actual game. So it's 1024 by 512. So 1024 by 512. So that's kind of big for a pixel art game, I guess. So okay, and then since we want full screen, since we need to get the actual ratio, so after we load the modules, what we want is we want to load the assets, right? But for now, we will not. I'm still. I don't know if I'm still going to rewrite, or I mean, re remake the tiles or the assets I've used. I guess we shouldn't, or I think that's part of remaking. So, anyways, let's just make a simple demo working. So let's make load objects, objects or entities, whatever. So let's make a directory called objects, and inside that, let's create a player entity. So here, that the reason why I didn't uh, put classic in the module initialization file, because I want to do it here. So I'm only going to load classic whenever I'm going to use it in an object file. Okay, so let's see. So require modules dot classic dot classic. So local, so player. So see, this is an object, so we want this to have uh, player like this. And speaking of, we will in this game we're going to have two dynamic objects, which are the player and the enemy. So we want to make a base class. I don't like making base class. I hate OOP, but let's uh, base. Let's name this base car. I don't know how to name files. Just say I don't know. I really don't know dynamic player. Dynamic player that Lua. No, not player. Dynamic objects. Now let's just name this base dot player. Base dot base. Base. Or let's create another. Let's create another base. Yeah. So uh, this is why I hate OOP. Well, kind of. So base. So let's create another, make their base, then base that. See, I don't know what I'm going to name this. Let's just say this entity that Lua. Oh no, let's create initialize that Lua first. So local. Then return that base, and then we will have base for entities. Entity which will be, I'm really sorry if I failed to make such good or such proper name, but and then we have objects, right? See, this will collide with objects. That's why I should have named that entities. I know, let's just name this dynamic and static. I don't know how to name. Then in base, let's name. Wait, what did I name that base? Okay, so this really sucks. Okay, so forgive me for that, but let's don't do that. Okay, so let's just derives from. Okay, so here local base goes to require module. Oh no, it's not module. It's going to be objects, and then Lua. No, base character. Okay, base character. Then local player goes to extend that. So we need to inherit from that, and then return that player file. So in our objects, let's create an initialize init logo, and then local objects, return objects, and then objects that layer will be requiring objects that layer. Okay, so let's create that base. How do you name such files in Java? Base characters, so local base. No, let's copy this, then local base character. So extend from that. Then here we have function base character new. So here we want solve that. What are the things we want to inherit? So characters have an ID. Right, so we have an ID, and then we have a position is to modules dot vector, and then see, this is okay. So I totally forgot what I'm going to do here. Actually, I don't need anything. I don't need any base character. Why? Because I don't. So let's. Oh yeah, wait. Okay, I remember clearly. I'm very sorry for everything, but let's just try this. The function player new soft.id is equals to id. Okay, so when local p, let's just try this. Okay, I really forgot how this works. So player print p.id, it's nil because we didn't pass anything, right? So but if we remove this, if we, oh, it's still nil. Why? I inherit from that base. Oh, because I wait, I'm pretty sure I shouldn't overwrite this. This is going to be base character, so base character, that's what I'm talking about. So and then we have base character that base base character. So we have position is modules vector 00 base character dimension size. So modules vector actually, so literally this is what we are just going to need. I don't know why, but that will come up later. Okay, so let's forget about that now. Okay, so we want id, so self.id is equals to, well, that's player. So and then what we want is what position we want. So pos I self that position equals to modules vector pos. Oh no, wait, let's just, oh yeah, 00 the pos. Or so if we don't pass anything for the position, it's going to be, the default will be 00, but since we're making a game, we don't want to have default of 00, so let's just or assert false, no position. So I'm pretty sure that, okay, and then if we try that, local p is equals to objects dot player, this should throw us an error. See, so we really need a position. Okay, so self.id, but self, what we need is image. This is going to be the static image. Since we don't have any image right now, let's just comment that, and let's self that dimensions is equals to, let's just name this size. Okay, so size is equals to modules vector, what we want is the self that image that x, no, the get width, self that image get height. But if we're going to pass a sprite or a sprite sheet, so we don't want that, we don't want to get that that width, because we don't, because that will be the whole file, that will be the whole sprite sheet, and sprite sheet contains many frames of sprite animation. So nah. So since, let's just say and yeah, self that size will be modules vector, let's just name this 48 by 64. Okay, so function player that update. Oh yeah, here we go. Love that graphics that set color, self that color. No, this will be white, so Let's just reset everything to white so we don't have any conflict with other objects. Set color will be self.color love graphics rectangle. So rectangle is a very good representation of our demo sprite. So at position, let's just name this pos. Okay, that means position self dot pos dot y self dot size dot x self dot size dot y. So first, in rectangle, first is if the rectangle should be filled with this color or just the outline, or and next is the x position, the y position of the top left corner of the rectangle, and then the width and the height. And so and I realized that we can put in here a colors. So if we don't give any color like that, so that will be red. All right, and then let's draw that. So entities, objects. Oh wait, let's create them. Okay, so we need to make a manager for that, which will handle everything. Wait, so let's think about this. Are we going to need, or are we going to use, or are we going to, like, so the game is like you have 6 floors, right? Means 2 floors and 6 rooms. Well, actually there's 3 floors, but okay, so 2 floors, and each room or each segment of that floor is the active scene. So only the entities that is, oh wait, only the objects that are in that active room will get drawn and will get rendered and will get updated, right? So if we enter in a new room, we switch the active scene to that room. But I'm thinking we can as well, like, the whole map, the whole house is rendering, right? And it's updated, but not the objects inside that. So we can, so the enemy object is roaming, so she can roam around other rooms, not just the room that is where the player is. So we can change the logic, we can change the layout of the ghost respawning every room, so she will be just roaming. But I think she appearing in every randomized in every room will be more scary. So okay, so rooms 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 so make their rooms, and then inside that, so inside we have the them initialize that Lua return rooms. So rooms that demo will be, that will just be a table. Okay, wait a minute. so we're still going to have managers, right? Oh, okay, so each room is require rooms that demo are rooms that demo that Lua local classic require. Oh, right. We don't need to require classic here because that's already in the base class. So here in our objects initialized, we can say objects. Wait, no. Uh, in our demo room, we can inherit from base room. We can inherit from that. We can inherit from that. So rooms base. Oh yeah, now we can change base character name into just base. How pretty is that? See, I told you we're going to... Oh wait, this is just going to be base. What are we doing? Base extend return demo. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Let's just fix this here. So not again, this will be base. So this will be entities. Okay, so rooms we have it. Okay, that's it. So this will be entities. 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 Okay, uh, so in room we need a base. So local classic was to require modules classic local base to classic extend, then return that object. So wait, did okay, so let's rename this into base character. Let's just rename that into base. Okay, so that's what I like, Beam. So okay, so here we go. uh this room is wait, yeah, I guess we should make this room so if we're editing the file get we will not get confused. That is active is equals to false. Okay, so base room dot id is equals to base room. So let's rename base into base entity, base entity. That's what I'm telling you. So and then wait, that's it. Oh, so every room is going to inherit from this base room, so it should have a table of uh, to draw, objects to draw. That will be a table. And base room to update. Right. So let's see. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, we have to update and to draw. So uh what if we have a what if we okay, so hmm okay, but for now let's worry about that later. So but for now let's create a function which will be draw things. uh, Draw. If if self if self that to draw is not empty. Wait, if this to draw is not empty, that how can we know if this is not empty? We can use the modules loom. Loom is array, I think. Let me just rxi. Okay, there you go. Loom can say is array, so it's small, is array of self that to draw. This will returns true if x is an array. Okay, so that is true. We want to loop in that self to draw, do the draw. Okay, so no, wait, this will be uh index. So this will be a object, and then we need to copy this and do apply the same for update, as in dt and update. But let's change this into to update. We're going to do the same for base entity. So base entity, okay, so base entity, so if we don't provide anything, so this will save us a lot of time from type for variable checking, because I've faced this a lot of time. So what I was doing back then was, let's say, inside the love.draw, and then I loop over the objects like this, and then I'm going to check if v.draw means if the object has a draw method, then call that. Otherwise it will if we don't put this, then this will result in an if an object doesn't have any draw function, and then we call that draw function, that will throw us an error. So we don't like that. So here, this will save us a lot of time by putting by putting this in the base entity. Key list, and then mouse press. This will be x and y and button, X and Y and button. This will be mouse wheel list. Okay, so that for now. Okay, so but if we're in debug, if debug, if wait, I don't know if we can call a function if it's like this or let's try. Okay, let's try. Doesn't hurt to try. Only compile time or whatever. Base entity that draw. So this is the debug draw. Love that graphics that set color. Self that color. Love that graphics that rectangle line and then self that pos that x, self that pos that y, self that size that x, self that size that y. Okay, so that's how I like it. So in player object entities player, let's not call this for now. Let's just oh yeah, wait, we can skip that and just what did I forgot. That's how I wait. Yep, that's how I wait. No, that is not how I. It's not how I edit my code. Okay, so there you go. So in draw, so in draw we can say, but this is this will replace this draw method. So let's just call this here self that draw. Base entity that debug draw, debug color. Yep, this will be blue. Okay, so red, blue, green, then alpha of 255. So wait, this is red is for debugging, right? So debug color and then color. Debug color. I'm pretty sure this should draw it right now. So let's just create a local p here. Then p is equals to entities dot player. Position will be 64 by 64. Oh wait, no, we need a module. Need a vector, I mean. Blah, blah. Modules that vector 64 and then p that draw. Let's see. Objects, modules, objects player. Entities init. Oh yeah. So this is the problem. I'm going to fix this later, but for now I don't know. I forgot what that line is. So entities. So basically instead of putting the folder name here always, we can just make a variable that gets the name of the file where the name of the folder where this file is at. What? Object player. See, I told you. Entities. This is player inil value. It is player 17. What? Wait, why did I even call it like that? That sucks. Okay, there you go. As you can see, we have the default color and the outline color, which is for debugging. See, so every time, wait, so what if in that base entity we say not debug, so debug should be false. See, yep, we can do this. We can call functions inside of an if else. Well, yeah, we can. So but that is going to throw us an error, so what we want is just let that be and just put if not debug here. See, that works. Okay, so based on the time, we're already in like 51 minutes already, and we're just still here. Okay, so let's just finish the room stuff. So here we go. Okay, so let's just, so here we have the rooms and then we have the entities. So we are going, in Love that we're going to say room that and managers that uh active set active room is equals to rooms that demo, right? So here we can say managers update, and here as well draw. Okay, so here we have managers require managers manage. Let's create that directory, make their managers, and then managers initialize that Lua will be so managers, that will be table and return managers. So okay, wait, so why are we doing this so local and then return and then store that value here? Can't we just make this instead of using local and return here, let's just use these managers here? So well, yes, you can, but that means you will be, everything in this file will be stored in a global variable. And as programmers, I believe that we, as much as possible, we don't clutter the global variable too much. This is the global variable in Lua, so we are using this, so everything inside of this is only scope into this file, is only encapsulated into this file. And then let's see if we type here like managers that modules, this will not affect this modules file, so we will have not any conflict. And Kikito, Tito, the one who made many useful libraries for Love, also stated that that is a good practice. So you just search for his blog about that. Okay, so managers here. So okay, so managers that active. Okay, so wait, we are going to need many managers. So managers that room room manager, so equals to require managers rooms, then managers. For now, let's just, for now that's only what what we need. So rooms, room.lua. Local. So do we need a base manager again? Well, I don't think we need. So classic was to require modules, classic, and then local manager room is equals to classic extend return manager room. So here we see that inside managers we need a variable called managers set active room. So managers set active room. Oh wait, yeah, I see. So when we call that, so rooms.demo, so we create that, and then here we say function manager room that new, we want the start room. I don't know if I'm doing this manager thing right, but okay. So this is quite confusing right now. Or yeah, I think we should avoid this. This is not this. I mean, this is not okay. I'm seeing that there's going to be a lot of uh, this is not going to be good. Yep, believe me. So what we just want is have a global variable which is our active room, right? So that he is still nil. Now let's just create a game and main game, and then we store globals there like that. So here we say game that active room is equals to rooms that demo. Then we create that demo, and then here we say game that active room. See this see we simplified bunch of stuff. Active room that draw. So this okay, so this file, this object will be stored this here. So there we go. So what we can do is in our no in our demo room we can do is of course make a constructor function demo update function demo draw. Okay, so here in this demo draw demo new. We're going so this will be okay, so this will be different. So new is just when we create that object, right? And and if we create that object, we don't want to, if we put if we create objects, we put the creation code inside this create demo. So means that we're going to create another player, because we're not going to destroy this room. We want this to be once the room is created, that will be in the memory for the rest of the game. So what we want is we have an enter state. This is very similar to Hum, so why are we not? So why don't we just use it? Yeah, this is very similar to Hum game states. So instead of uh, taking our time in making such, why don't we just use that, right? So this will save us a lot of time. So let's here, so we have game state cost require modules hump that game state. Is that game state or yep, game state only? And then here we want is modules that game state that, and I forgot. Okay, this will be hump. So hump game state, what we want is also initialized is the creation. Okay, so when we create the object, and then initialize is the first time we enter into that state, right? Before entering the state, the first time, switch to. Okay, so we need to switch to switch. Okay, so switch, and then wait, what's that? To and the rest. So we need rooms.demo. So the rooms demo is not created, so we need to create that. And then let's debug. So room is created, room is initialized, room is now in. I don't know if that makes sense, but okay, so it's created, initialized, and we're now in. Okay, so this is cool. Now when we create the room, we put here the necessary like files, image, like that. Okay, so here we need to specify that modules game state that, wait, what's that? Current? Yep, current update, and then draw. So okay, so when we create the room, we don't do anything, but when we initialize the room, let's create the player. So local p player is equals to modules that No, I mean entities dot player. Let's create the player at local player position custom modules vector 6464. So player position, and then let's table insert into self dot to draw. Oh, self dot entities. Okay, pool. Let's just call it entities entity pool. Now let's just name this pool entity, and then the player. So in our base, we want is base room that pool entity is equals a table, and so okay, so let's remove this. Instead of self.update, we're just going to say pool entity pool. Okay, and then what if we don't want to draw? So we want if object that is draw that is equals to true. So the same goes here. If is update, then so we need entities and base. We want here is base that entity that is draw equals to true, and base entity is update. So the default is true. So there you go. Oh wait, we haven't actually called that, so that update will be self update self draw. We should see, yes, there we go. We're actually getting into something really good. See, and our main.lo file is just only like 15 lines of code. Yay! So let's create here. So going home remake started from the bottom. Now no, that's not it. Started January 19, year 2018. Okay, bye Brandon. Yep. And my Twitter is Flem Endless. Yay! Okay, so let's try moving the character. So base with that will be an entity base. So move left. Oh wait, no. Why don't we use an update? This will be the default update. If Love2d. Okay, so this is where we're going to use boy pushy. And yeah, where's that boy pushy? Who made that library? SYGen. So input, create an input object. So So the input will be in the game, right? You only need one input, so you can do that in modules. Initialized, and then like that. So we already initialized them, so binding keys into action. So modules that input. Okay, there we go. Wait, let's I think we should separate inputs, like so player input, and then for the player only movement, and then movement when we are solving puzzles, right? Never mind. So when we create the player, let's just hide this for now. Okay, so when we create the player inputs, so what we want is modules that, all right, here we go. Let's not put that here, let's just create it locally here. And then input bind. So what key do we want? If we press A, let's call the function. Wait. So we can either create a table or call a function. No, so we need the name. So here's the name. So the name will be move left input bind. So that will be D, so move right. Okay, so let's try this for now. So if input is down, no, we need move left, and then we need the function. Else if input down, move right, then so let's put here as well base entity, that's default speed, so that will be 100. So self so move left, and let's pass in delta time, of course. Wait, I'm thinking that the only, oh no, yeah, we need this. So function base entity move left, and then wait, we're not doing this, we just need one move, right? And then we pass in the delta, we passed in the speed, right? So we just pass in the speed. Oh, not with negative swap that speed, and then swap that speed. We can still narrow it down, we can still
optimize this, just like self move move to uh, delta dx, and then here local dx, so every frame that will be reset to 0. But if we press something, if we press this will be dx is equals to negative self dot speed dx equals to self dot well, it's just like the same. So self dot x is equals to self dot x minus speed times minus speed. No, it's plus speed. And then let's just multiply. No, let's just multiply it here. See, we can optimize this. And why? Hmm. Why is he not drawn? I don't get it. If object is update is true, they are both true. Full entity. What happened? Yep, he is not updated nor drawn because of this if object is update. Print sub is update. Sub is true. Yep, they are both true, so that means the problem here is in the room. Oh yeah, we forgot to I think we should not name this base and room. Base 31. Base 31. And see. Wait, I'm not calling. Oh, this one. This is cold. But we have. Oh, it should be self that position. See, we got it working. So okay, so that's actually cool. But now that I got this far, I don't think I want to remake Going Home. Let's just make a platformer game, right? I mean, we have like the engine or something. Okay, so at least we can still use this for other purposes. So now I I don't want if they are both pressed. they are both pressed, if they are pressed at the same time, you should get 0, right? Oh, input down. And not input down. Move right. And not input down. Move left. So you can press right. If you press both, let's see, I'm pressing right D, then if I press A, which is left, it's going to stop, right? So I have to release one, and there we go. We made something. Let's just name this debug Joe. Why we name. Okay, I think that's what we need so far. Okay, so now we need, if the game is in full screen, right? So let's create another game. So game that input. So see, I told you we need to separate the player input. Game that input that bind, like F1. Wait, is F1 safe? Yeah. Uh, Full screen. So here, if game that input bind toggle full screen, then no, that's why bind, it's pressed. Toggle full screen if love that graphics is, nope, it's window that windows window get full screen, else if this is true, then love that window set full screen to true, I mean to false. We can just make a ternary operator here, but whatever. And that didn't work. I wonder why. It should be released. I think we should just need this. Yeah, so player can constantly press that, right? So if game press repeat, so it will be toggle full screen, and then every like 1 second, then and press repeat. Wait, what? There's no press repeat. What? Dude, there's no press repeat. Let's check the documentation. Hooray! Modules, boy, pushy, input, press, repeat. Yep, there's no press repeat. Oh wait, maybe it's just pressed. Oh, there you go. So this returns. Wait, I don't think this is working. We should get a delay. See, what if... Ah, it's not working. Press repeat, it's not working. I should better issue that, but let's deal with that later. So, released. Why do I always... It's not working anymore. Okay, I really don't know what's happening now. I'm pretty sure that's released, right? Hmm. Let's see if that returns anything. And yes, it's not doing anything. See, it's printing, but there's no value, so I think we should just stick with pressed. Yes, release doesn't work. I don't know why. So let's just okay, so love that full screen. We want, oh, there you go. We forgot to turn this into true, so see, we need to, I don't know why I'm figuring this out right now, but never mind. So game, let's create a function game that toggle full screen is equals to function. Then let's just copy this, and then after game that toggle full screen, after we did this, let's game that set right, because we want, what we want is game that set to be a function that will calculate our, first we need to wait, what, game that's set. So here we want game that with love that graphics that get with, then game that height equals to love that graphics that get height, and then we will also want to calculate the ratio, which will be ratio is equals to love that, no, it's math that mean, the minimum of game that, okay, no, this will be window width, this will be window height, then we have the game, the actual width of the game, which will be 1024 by game that height will be 720. Did I get that right? 512. Okay, so this will be 512, and then next we want is game that window width divided by that game that width, and then compare that with the result of window height over game that height. So that is how you calculate for the ratio. So whatever value is less between these two numbers, that will return as our ratio. So let's, every time we set, let's print game that ratio. So the ratio is 1, right? Because our window is the same as the game. So if we toggle full screen, you see it is now 1.25. So now let's, yes, I know we need to separate this, but for now let's just say that yes, that we're going to separate this, but for now what we just want to do is make a timer for that, and this is where we want modules timer. So where's hump, by the way? Hump timer. So hump timer, we just need to put update there. Okay, and delta time. So every time we press this toggle full screen, what we want is modules timer after like 2 seconds. We want to can activate can toggle fs is equals to true. So we want that after, wait, what? If can toggle fs, then after we toggle, we need to set toggle fs equals to false, right? So now let's move this game that for now let's just require game, then what we oh wait, forgot the local can toggle fs equals to true. See, now we can return. Why is that? After wait, do I have to create? No, I don't have to create each timer. Can toggle false after let's say 2 seconds. Here, why is it not printing? Oh, no, we got this right. It's timer. Modules initialize, it's timer, right? Yes, we just need to require that, and then after we require that, and yes. Okay, let's try this here. Modules timer after 1 second, function print 1, and then I know if there's a problem with the docs or oh, so it's not really updating. Why? Oh, it's timer update. That was so silly.
That was such a silly mistake. That was so silly. Okay, so after 2 seconds we should be able. See? What's the problem with that? Wow, can we? Why can we? Oh, because every time we press F1, a new timer object is created, and that. Okay, so I got it, and it should be pretty working now. See, told you. And now, okay, guys, that's it for now. I know it took so long just to get to this far, but I hope you find something worth worth knowing here, worth learning. So I'm going to be I'm going to be I'm going to the source code. I'm going to post it or upload or push it in Bitbucket, so it will be private repository. I will not be giving this source code for free unless you become my Patreon. So that's one way of supporting me. But I guess you don't need the source code because you can just follow what I did here. So that's okay. So but I assure you that I will be releasing this for my other game. I'm going to be using this personal framework for my other game. So that's it. I don't know. I don't still I don't still know what I'm going to do with it. So that's everything there is now. So sorry so long. We will continue this later. I mean next time. Okay. So see ya.